It's not the people who vote that count. It's the people who count the votes. The press must grow day in and day out. It is our party's sharpest and most powerful weapon. Ideas are more powerful than guns. We would not let our enemies have guns. Why should we let them have ideas? Everybody has a right to be stupid, but some people abuse the privilege. Voters decide nothing. Vote counters decide everything. The death of one man is tragic, but the death of thousands is statistic. Divide the world into regional groups as a transitional stage to world government. Populations will more readily abandon their national loyalty to a vague regional loyalty than they will for a world authority. Later the regions can be brought together all the way into a single world dictatorship. Political power does not rest with those who cast votes. Political power rests with those who count votes. When there's a person, there's a problem. When there's no person, there's no problem. When we hang the capitalists, they will sell us the rope we use. Education is a weapon, the effect of which is determined by the hands which wield it, by who is to be struck down. It doesn't matter who they vote for, they always vote for us. Great Britain provided time. The United States provided money and Soviet Russia provided blood. By May 1st, 1937, there should not be one single church left within the borders of Soviet Russia, and the idea of God will have been banished from the Soviet Union as a remnant of the Middle Ages, which has been used for the purpose of oppressing the working classes. It is not heroes that make history, but history that makes heroes. To choose one's victims, to prepare one's plan minutely, to slake an implacable vengeance, and then to go to bed. There is nothing sweeter in the world. If the opposition disarms, well and good. If it refuses to disarm, we shall disarm it ourselves. This creature softened my heart of stone. She died, and with her died my last warm feelings for humanity. Print is the sharpest and the strongest weapon of our party. The only real power comes out of a long rifle. The United States should get rid of its militias. I trust no one, not even myself. I consider it completely unimportant who in the party will vote, or how, but what is extraordinarily important is this: who will count the votes, and how? Words are one thing, deeds something entirely different. Fine words are a mask to cover shady deeds. A sincere diplomat is like dry water or wooden iron. He who votes does not have power. He who counts the votes has power. How do you expect the Germans to revolt when they don't even dare walk on the grass? I believe in one thing only, the power of human will. Oh, these diplomats! What chatterboxes! There's only one way to shut them up. Cut them down with machine guns. Bulganin, go and get me one. It takes a brave man to be a coward in the Red Army. In the future, there will be fewer but better Russians. A man's eyes should be torn out if he can only see the past. Nobody respects a country with a poor army, but everybody respects a country with a good army. I raise my toast to the Finnish army. Of all the treasures a state can possess, the human lives of its citizens are for us the most precious. In the Soviet army it takes more courage to retreat than advance. The leaders come and go, but the people remain. Only the people are immortal. The production of souls is more important than the production of tanks. And therefore I raise my glass to you, writers, the engineers of the human soul. You cannot make a revolution with silk gloves. American communists have the opportunity to preach freely their ideas. It would be absolutely wrong to hold the Soviet government responsible for activities of the American communists. We are 50 or 100 years behind the advanced countries. We must make good this distance in 10 years. Either we do it, or they will crush us. The rich experience of history teaches that up to now not a single class has voluntarily made way for another class. You do not lament the loss of hair of one who has been beheaded. Mankind is divided into rich and poor, into property owners and exploited, and to abstract oneself from this fundamental division and from the antagonism between poor and rich means abstracting oneself from fundamental facts. Remember how the First World War broke out. It broke out as a result of the desire to redivide the world. Our Soviet society is socialist because private ownership of factories, plants, land, banks and means of transportation has been abolished in our country and replaced by public ownership.